Welcome back to another episode of the Block Runner Podcast. I'm your host, William, always here with your co-host, Iman.
What's going on, dude?
On the sticks, we got TJ.
Hello.
Good thing you're here, TJ. I know ETH is down along with everything else.
No place I'd rather be.
We can fill the full circle, right? Back to 2022. Remember those days?
That's
where
right.
we had to write on the whiteboard. It's
like no more gloom.
yeah. It's like, take the gun out of your mouth. Shit like that, right?
This one feels accelerated, though.
Yeah, this feels more dramatic, right?
The
Yeah.
gun is coming in the mouth.
It's coming back.
It's coming back.
I could taste the metal again. It's not a pleasant taste. But yeah, it's like, we've been through this, right?
We sure have.
But I think, so we felt it post FTX last time, I guess. That was like true peak despair of like, holy shit, there's no way we recover from this.
Yeah.
And right now,
That was more like a tactical nuke, right? A lot of people were affected with FTX, but a lot of people didn't use FTX too.
yeah, I never did. But we knew
Yeah.
a lot of people who
Yeah.
were. They were like, their company funds were like in FTX, It's
Yeah.
like, so it was a huge hit.
So I feel like this is less of a tactical nuke, more like a nuclear bomb has
Well,
gone
yeah,
off.
it feels, yeah.
General purpose bomb.
It's some sort of like EMP almost, where it's like, it's an invisible bomb.
Yeah.
Like a nuke is like very visible, right? You can see
So
the
you can point
destruction.
to it. Yeah.
But an EMP is like, why is everything just not working? Right? That's what this feels like.
Well, you know what? An EMP actually comes from a nuclear explosion. Like if you ignite that bomb, like let's say 10,000 feet in the air, you actually cause an EMP like explosion.
Is that how
Yeah, that's
all EMPs are only generated?
no, not all EMPs, but a nuclear bomb going off
Yeah.
does have that EMP effect.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so then maybe, so the parallel here is like some nuke has to have gone off somewhere in
Yeah.
our atmosphere.
Yeah.
We just can't see it.
It's probably Elon with his
I don't know.
damn satellites.
Maybe it's something, a nuke went off, but we're feeling the EMP effect, right? We're like,
Yeah.
let's look at the charts. It's like everything is falling off a cliff, and it's people are pointing fingers, right, in all kinds of different directions, but it's not like 100% clear
Yeah.
on what's happening, other than
Yes, it's so not clear that CZ and Binance are sending out cease and desist letters telling people to stop.
yeah, pointing their fingers at us.
Yeah.
It's like, please stop harassing us.
Yeah.
We didn't do this, and if you keep saying that we did, then coming after you.
That's right.
Which cease and desist implies what? Like if you don't stop funding us, then they're
Yeah.
gonna sue you, right?
They sue you
Defamation
for
or something?
defamation, slander,
Wow, that's hard. That's
which, they might have caused that glitch on purpose. They might have, but
Yeah.
they have enough money to really convince you that they didn't,
I see.
right? So,
So the way to do that is to like shut people up.
yeah.
'Cause- yeah.
Yeah, because you don't have money to compete with Binance.
Yeah, well, I mean that's not a good look either, though. It's like, well, people are,
Yeah, but it's a business tactic. It's
yeah, it's so
like if you go to court, let's say they did have that glitch go off. If you go to court, you have to spend a ton of money for you to prove that they actually had the glitch.
mhm.
And even if you had that money, it would take years.
Right.
And so it's like, it's pointless.
Yeah. Well, whatever it is, whether it's Binance, whether this is just, there's another opinion here that because Bitcoin has become so like financialized through traditional rails, I guess we should have assumed this would happen, right? Like now the banking cartel essentially has like full grips on price trajectory for Bitcoin.
Yeah, you're talking about this one, right?
Yeah, it's like you can go up or down basically at the bank's, discretion.
Yeah, so let me read this because I thought it was really interesting and it could represent what's actually happening. So
Yeah.
he's quote tweeting some Bitcoiner like influencer. He's like, so here's the issue you get with influencers like this guy have 250,000 followers and they claim they don't know why it's declining. It's because they don't understand basic mechanics of price discovery. They don't understand that the marginal buyers or the float determines price. They think the on-chain Bitcoin is the price discovery. Well, it was once upon a time, but now once you can synthetically manufacture the supply, the asset no longer scarce, and once scarcity is gone, price becomes a derivatives game, not a supply and demand market. This is exactly what has happened to Bitcoin. This is the same structural break that occurred in gold, silver, oil, and eventually equities once they became derivatives dominated. The original premise that no longer exists. Bitcoin's entire valuation logic was built on finite supply, 21 million, and inability to be rehypothecated. That died the moment that cash settles futures, perpetual swaps, options, ETFs, prime broker lending, wrapped BTC, and total return swaps. So we're laid on top of the chain. From that moment forward, Bitcoin supply became theoretically infinite. Not on-chain, in price discovery, the metric that explains the collapse, synthetic float ratio. So once you can synthetically manufacture the supply, the asset no longer scarce. And once scarcity is gone, price becomes a derivatives game, not a supply and demand market. So he kind of repeated himself. This is exactly what happened to Bitcoin. This is the same structural break. It says they do exactly what they've done in every commodity market. They created unlimited paper BTC, short into rallies, force liquidations, cover lower, and then repeat. They are not betting. They are manufacturing inventory. The same one Bitcoin can now support an ETF unit, a futures contract, a perpetual swap, an options delta, a broker loan, a structured note, all at once. That is 6 claims on one coin. That is not a market. That is a fractional reserve price system.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds similar to, I guess, like this is what finance does, right? We've always heard about the derivatives market, like outvalues the actual, like, tangible value on Earth, like 500x to 1 or something like that. It's like some astronomical value of, like, derivatives market value.
It's like hundreds and hundreds of trillions of value.
Yeah, basically, like, finance is able to create these different types of products that, I guess compound off of one another.
Yeah, that's what it's called derivatives, right? It's a derivative of the asset.
So basically, Bitcoin has now been, like, factored into this, financial machine.
Yeah.
So we shouldn't be surprised. It's like now it's like this is what we're talking about. Like whoever issues these things now, they're the ones with the hands on the lever of the actual spot price.
So if I could paint the picture, it would look like this: institutions have a ton of capital. And what they do is they buy a bunch of short positions on the underlying asset. They take that capital, they have the underlying asset, they sell that underlying asset. It hits their short calls. They make a ton of money as it goes down, and then that's how they depress the price while making a ton of money. And so that's what we're seeing with gold, right? Someone has essentially the lever to purchase gold. Someone purchases calls. Gold goes up, they make a ton of money as it goes up.
Yeah.
And then they just do it in reverse.
Yeah, that's what I heard about this silver thing. I've been, even before crypto, I was kind of like in the like silver bug trenches, if you will. That's what, people who've been stacking silver for the last couple of decades, as they call themselves silver bugs. And that was kind of like the thesis, like, hey, these institutional bankers, they're intentionally suppressing the value of silver here for years now. Using these different, derivative components, I guess. They're shorting the hell out of it. So, but at some point, this is going to inverse and then repricing will occur and silver will be astronomically more valuable than what it is today, right? I heard this like on early YouTube, 2009, 2010,
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is very interesting. Credible thesis, I think. Right? I'm like, not even really in college yet, barely entering college. I don't know, my scope.
Dude, that's crazy. That not even entering college, you were thinking about this stuff.
Yeah, because I think going into college, like even in high school, like I knew it was like the only way to escape boredom was like through these financial markets, one way or another, right? And again, this is pre-crypto, right? So it's like,
so this is pre-crypto. This is you're in high school, going to college. This was in the WoW era. Like, how did you, like, I would in high school and college, I was not thinking about the financial markets, dude.
Yeah, well, because you're like actually trying to like get a degree. I was just trying to skate by and like hopefully they give me one. At the end of this, I didn't really full port like
like your mental faculties to
it was definitely dispersed, right? Yeah, there's World of Warcraft, very important, right? There's maintaining my GPA,
but that was in
kind of important
in 2009, right?
That was more like Call of Duty. Those were my COD days. freshman
Still.
and sophomore year, I was definitely on the Xbox.
I mean, it's interesting that you're thinking about this.
Yeah, well,
In those days.
that was my zone of my own personal life where I was experiencing existentialism, right? Because it's like post high school, all my high school buddies they're gone.
Yeah.
They all went abroad to study in their own little college towns. It's
Yeah.
like, oh shit! It's like now I'm like alone at this point. So all of a sudden, reality kind of hits you at those moments. It's like, oh shit! There's a world around us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I gotta figure out like what it's about and what am I gonna do.
I see.
in this
Okay,
world, right?
that makes sense. All right.
So yeah, part of it led me to, like understanding. It's like money is pretty an important component to reality,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
So it's like the less you have, the more like unfortunate you are, right?
It's good logic.
So it's like, how do you get more money? It was like, okay, you could do this whole college thing. It's like, okay, let's see how much money people typically make whenever they
Sure.
graduate. It's like, yeah, it's okay, but it doesn't really change anything, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's true.
It's like the only real escape velocity that can be achieved is through like financial markets. Usually,
Yeah.
that was like my conclusion. And again, there's no crypto, there was no friendly app. I literally had to open a TD Ameritrade brokerage account like in person.
Yeah.
I had to go find the place.
That's crazy,
The
dude.
agony.
huh?
The agony of that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I had to write a check, dude, for a $500 deposit. That was like all the money I had, and I bet it all on like graphite mining companies.
Sure.
Because I thought graphene was going to be the material of the future.
You know what's going to happen 10 years from now? Graphene is going to take off.
I know. Just like I was buying silver and holding
Yeah.
it for like 10 years, it
Right.
didn't do shit. And then as soon as I sold it, the thesis came true.
Right.
All those silver bugs.
That's
they
true.
They were right.
'Cause they were off by 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah. And so luckily crypto came along, and it that is the new vector of opportunity, I think, for mainstream humanity, for some sort of like opportunity for to achieve escape velocity. Because I don't think equities markets, yeah, they're hot right now and such, but
Yeah.
I don't know. You need significant capital there to like actually play around,
Well, we have a tweet here by one of the co-founders of Multicoin, an investor. And he says, I've decided to step back from Multicoin. It's a bittersweet moment for me because my time at Multicoin has been some of the most meaningful and rewarding of my life. After nearly a decade in crypto, I'm more confident than ever that crypto is going to fundamentally rewrite the circuitry of finance. Where's the part where it says, I believe that the Clarity Act will unlock a tidal wave of new entrants and spur adoption, unlike anything we've seen. I'll continue to support Zama. So where's the part where he says that he's out? Is this not the tweet?
I think he literally said at the beginning, I decided to step back from Multicoin. It's like he's out.
Yeah, but
from there. I mean, there's an article, I think, somewhere in these links where it kind of breaks down.
where he's shorting all of crypto.
Well, he says he's going to remain on the board, which is, standard things you say whenever you depart.
Yeah.
But the more interesting nuggets of things that he said is, after 10 years basically being in crypto, he doesn't really find it interesting anymore, right?
Yeah.
The industry as a whole, and that all the questions that needed proofing, it's like they've already been kind of addressed, and at the end of all this attempt,
Yeah.
we're standing really with nothing. It's like so somebody like that, I guess, that has this kind of notoriety in the industry, he's signaling to everyone that there's broader scale opportunities outside of the bounds of crypto. And this is another shock factor moment, right? It's not just being reflected on squiggly lines on a chart. Like you're seeing real human beings kind of capitulate in
their
real
own
time.
life decisions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this is without this guy's investment early on, Solana probably wouldn't have gotten to where it is. Right?
Yeah. So he invested at 2 cents Solana, and then up to 23 cents.
Something like that. I mean, literally as peachy as it can get.
Yeah.
But so, okay, he's out, right? You got Vitalik on the timeline. All of a sudden, after 5 years of shilling that L2 ecosystem is the way for Ethereum, completely pivoting against that approach. And
Yeah. He rug pulled all of L2s on Ethereum.
basically, it's like, this is not the way. And I think a lot of that has to do with, the VC institution itself. Like they found their grip on the crypto industry themselves. This is a way to, enrich pretty quickly. It's like spin up a new L2,
Yeah.
raise a bunch of capital, launch a token at an overinflated valuation and exit. And we've been witnessing this since last cycle.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
that conference we went to? That was the beginning of it.
Hundreds of L2s
Hundreds.
for Ethereum.
Yeah, we went to one Ethereum conference in our life, and it was literally just an L2-a-thon. It was
Yeah.
everywhere. Kiosks.
Yeah. Merch.
Up the wazoo, dude.
Yeah.
The building was about to explode with L2 kiosks. It was insane.
Yeah. The only thing more than the L2 was COVID. There's a lot of COVID there.
True. We got pretty violently ill.
We sure did.
It was pretty horrible. But apparently all that was for nothing, for naught, right?
Yeah, and really it was Vitalik that greenlight the whole thing, and so it gave the investors the confidence to go and say, you know what, maybe L2 is the thing. Let me dabble in the one of 100s of options that I have. And then he did the rug pull. I haven't checked the prices on any of the L2s, but I would imagine they're all down at least 50%, even from the announcement.
Yeah, I wonder. I haven't either, but nonetheless, it's going to put a pause on enthusiasm for developer participation, which is the most important thing.
Yeah, and think about the secondary developers who built on L2s.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, they're not being supported.
Kind of. Yeah, at least from a public optics or sentiment standpoint, right? It's like,
yeah,
what are we all doing, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of all of this is collectively starting to feel like or resonate like that, right? Like, what are we all doing if the things we've been building towards over the last 5 years are no longer for one, interesting enough to stick around, according to Kyle Samani.
Yeah.
There's way more interesting things out there, guys. Full pivot.
Yeah.
Could be right. It's probably objectively right. If that thing is AI.
Yeah.
It most likely is.
Yeah.
That is the next opportunity for crypto bros like himself, right? And then Vitalik is like, all right, the last 5 years of iteration,
it's like
put it behind us.
All that L2 stuff you did, well, we've already put it into Ethereum, so you're actually not needed anymore.
Yeah. So another example of capitulation. I mean, and it's not necessarily the worst thing. Pivots are important, I guess, but still, it's disruptive. It's part of the story that's unveiling here in real time while we're looking at a very ugly chart, right? And how does that look?
Yeah. So let's take a look at the good old rainbow chart. So I want to iterate. This is not a prediction. It's more of like a reference point. And so what does that mean? That means that if Bitcoin was perfect, it would follow a non-linear regression curve. And so this guy just decided to put bands on plus or minus. And we're way below in the black.
Yeah.
Right now. So yeah, this is not a good look.
Yeah. And I guess what makes this not perfect, or what makes these types of models dangerous, right, is
expectations.
Expectations and assumptions around these bands themselves, right? It's there's no way market cycles can top or bottom not in their
categorized
ranges, right? You wouldn't expect a market top in the green. Nobody would expect that.
No, I didn't expect that.
Nobody did, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but also, consider this too. We've seen black here in COVID, right? So that was really scary times. And then 6 months later to a year later, it was that was a buy of a lifetime, right? We got a reversal. FTX hit. Once FTX hit, we dumped another 20%. We went to $16,000, and then we had, some would say, a reversal from there, right? It's just not as high as one would hope,
right?
And then we're back in the black again. So what else could possibly happen here, dude?
I think a lot still. So, to me personally, I think there's still a lot left that can happen. Let's pull up one of the things happening, right?
Yeah.
If the minor capitulation is one, I guess, a lot of people are unaware of the consequence of number go down for Bitcoin, because you're saying the perfect Bitcoin maintains this non-linear regression trajectory.
Correct.
But it's like a core necessity from a security standpoint for Bitcoin's
absolutely
whole, economic model, right? That's
Absolutely.
why up until now, most people relied on that trajectory as like almost like a failsafe. There's like no way it cannot.
Yeah, there's a little bit of faith backing that
Yeah,
expectation too.
faith might be the word, but it's just the thought of like, if it doesn't do that, then Bitcoin's in serious trouble. So yeah, I don't want to ever believe that
Correct.
it's never not going to do that.
Yeah,
But it's happening. It's not doing it, guys.
it's not doing it. Yeah, so this tweet here says Bitcoin has never fallen below its electrical cost. Today, that floor is 71. There's another tweet that suggested a different number at 58,000. But nonetheless, this is a representation of the cost of production of a Bitcoin versus the actual value of a Bitcoin. So all that, to me, this what it is like more of a feedback than an indicator. And that feedback is saying that the value of Bitcoin is not worth the electricity cost of it. So
yeah. So that
means well, if I'm a miner, I'm just going to turn off some rigs, and therefore I'm going to give up some hash share, right, of the big pie, of the hash pie. I get a little sliver. Well, if I turn off systems, that sliver gets smaller, right? So, but that means if I mine a block, the cost to mine that block would be less than the value of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But because your sliver is smaller, the likelihood of finding a block is that much smaller.
Yeah. So essentially, you're phasing yourself out.
Yeah, exactly.
Of this like economic flywheel around Bitcoin mining. So
if you keep phasing yourself out, eventually you will run out of cash, and now you're gone, and now that hash share gets distributed to the remaining parties. And so what does that mean? That's a long-winded way of saying that we get more centralization of Bitcoin.
Yeah, that is the consequence here of, again, Bitcoin not staying on pre-foretold trajectory paths, right? It's like, okay.
Yeah. So let me paint a different kind of angle to this. So yeah, right now Bitcoin's down 50%. Of course, we're having little problems. But what about in the future, right? It's still going to reach 200 grand, 250 at some point in the future. It's like, okay, it will, right? This chart is telling me that it will, right? I don't know if it will, but it's suggesting such. And because the actual squiggles have stayed within this curve, it's likely to get there. But that's not the point. Even if it does get there, it's still not enough. It's not enough because the whole point of Bitcoin is that the security of it needs to increase. It has to. And it has to because the subsidy is being halved every 4 years. So we only have 2 years away before the next halving.
That's right. Yeah.
2 years is not that long. Remember, a year ago, I was telling you this next year is going to go by in a blink of an eye, and that blink happened.
For sure, yeah.
And so these next 2 years, a couple of blinks, all of a sudden it halves. Bitcoin is still being depressed by the rich people up there.
Yeah.
And now everyone's talking about NAT. That's...
feel like...
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, I guess. That feels like a good thing,
Yeah, it's a good and a bad thing. It's like we have these higher powers here who have a ton of money really controlling the whole world.
Right.
And we're just riding the waves. They're producing the waves.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing that at least something does exist, and it was, put in place ahead of time. That a pre-calculation that arrives at this future point in time.
Yeah,
like if NAT wasn't around to, I guess, kind of absorb some of the fallout damage of this, and the only course for Bitcoin as a network is absolute centralization, right? That's the only outcome.
Yeah,
under the existing economic regime, if you will.
Yeah.
And, for some parties, maybe that's acceptable. But I would imagine for most, it is not, right? That is not the ethos of crypto. That's not how this whole system got started.
It's not supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be decentralized. And I think everyone, even countries who end up adopting Bitcoin, they prefer a decentralized Bitcoin because it is more valuable than a centralized one. At least that's my opinion. I could be totally wrong.
Well, yeah, and I think it's the only way that it can actually maintain its
Yeah,
semblance of a digital gold status, right? It has to
agree.
have these internal components that distinguish it from, traditional finance and, traditional assets.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's like non-correlated,
Yeah, that's why gold is so powerful, because it takes a lot of energy to make gold, right? I remember looking up, there was an institution that made synthetic gold, and then I looked into it, and they did, except they made nanograms of gold.
Wow.
Like nanograms, and it took like a huge like collider to make it.
Wow.
So it took a ton of energy, and like you can make synthetic gold. You can. It's just not practical in any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
And so that tells me that the gold that does exist required significant amount of energy, and that energy is embedded into the molecules itself. It's like stable, right? Bitcoin is not that.
Right.
Bitcoin requires continual injection of energy forever.
Yes.
And so in order to sustain that, you need to supply the value in order to maintain that energy input.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why, it's fundamentally different than all these commodities that we have. It's a different beast.
Yeah.
And that beast needs to be fed continuously. It's different than commodities.
Agreed. Yeah, so maybe because the price is going down, this problem that we've identified as a community for NAT and such, it becomes more widespread and contributes to, I guess, the continuation of this sentiment, right? So let's visit the market psychology chart. I think it should be here somewhere. That way we can kind of like get a better grasp of where we actually are.
I don't think you shared it.
Should.
Oh,
there it is.
here it is.
Another staple of this channel.
Yeah.
So it's the rainbow chart, which I propose maybe we retire the damn thing. But not this.
This is a different kind of rainbow chart.
Yeah, this thing has been pretty tried and true.
Yeah.
This market psychology, because we've experienced it like 3 times now, basically.
Yeah. So where are we at right now?
What would you assume based on you said capitulation on your own, like Kyle Samani
Sure.
capitulating out of the industry. I think Vitalik capitulating against his own ecosystem and even like financially exiting. Every day he keeps selling like more and more Ethereum. So does the foundation.
Yeah, he's been selling Ethereum since 2021.
Yeah. But
how much Ethereum does he have, dude?
I think a lot. Yeah, which is like okay, you're allowed to sell.
Yeah, yeah.
But it
does send a signal though.
Yeah, optics of the time, when you sell $1 million now, it looks way more terrifying than $1 million when it's going up. It's like
it's true.
Feels like he's capitulating also. But yeah, so I would spot us somewhere between panic and capitulation.
Yeah. That's definitely what it feels like. Man, it's so interesting.
Psychology, right? It's just it never ceases.
Yeah.
To
It's just the thing is I at 125 Bitcoin, theoretically that's where euphoria is.
Yeah.
We were not euphoric at 125.
There were some euphoria like pinpoints of existence.
Do you remember an example?
Well, all of DATs,
Okay, well,
those are the examples of euphoria for me. It's like the idea that Michael Saylor and friends were able to just absorb that many billions of dollars worth of capital on a hope and a promise.
Yeah, I suppose.
Numbers just going to keep going up, guys. I promise you. Here's my PowerPoint slide that I just cooked up. Or ChatGPT
vibe coded.
Vibe coded. And I promise you, he's going to keep going up, keep going up, keep going up. Just keep sending me money. I'm going to keep buying more Bitcoin. That's euphoria. Dude.
What's interesting is that
madness.
Michael Saylor buying Bitcoin had zero impact on the Bitcoin price every time.
It's true. Yeah.
And he was participating in the whole derivatives aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so this is what you get.
That was the only way to onboard that amount of capital, is through like these institutional rails.
It's just you're supposed to be holding the Bitcoin.
Well, I think he still is.
Yeah, he is. It's just how about making it on chain one time? Just one time.
Yeah, that's not gonna work for TradFi, dude. You think they're gonna deal with like block times and shit like that and fees and all that? Hell no.
It's like, how do you make a Bitcoin transaction?
Yeah. I'm sure none of them ever have.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's euphoria. There's like Udi. Remember, even he spun up his own DAT and he was like so pompous and confident that it was gonna make him a billionaire. He was on there with like his cool guy glasses.
Yeah, he's making fun of the idiots buying the shares and
Yeah.
like post
Yeah.
IPO. It's like I got pre-IPO.
Yeah, that was. I remember seeing that and linking that in
Yeah.
our Discord. I was like, dude, this is a top signal.
It is, yeah. You said that, yeah.
There's no way like this guy's gonna get away with that.
Yeah.
This is somebody who's overconfident, and he's been price shilling this whole time, saying Bitcoin's going to 300K, 400K, guaranteed this year, stuff like that. And he's not alone.
Yeah, he's
Almost
yeah.
every guru in this space has been saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like it's time to kill the guru, guys. Like,
Yeah.
if it's time to learn and wise up. Like, gurus don't exist.
Yeah.
Price projection models don't work.
No.
It's like, stop believing in this stuff. Stop trying to think you've got a grip or understanding of where the Bitcoin is headed price wise. Right?
Yeah, so if that's the case, if there are no such thing as gurus and no one really knows anything, then how do you make a play? Like, how do you make the play?
Yeah, the only play to make is like actually not giving a fuck. Right?
Yeah.
That's it. Like, I really
Yeah,
don't
actually-
care about the price.
Yeah, you don't care, and you don't look at the price every single day, and you don't over leverage.
Yeah, I was gonna say that too. Don't give a fuck and don't get greedy. The meaning, like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna borrow a bunch of money or borrow off of my Bitcoin a bunch of it so that I can get more Bitcoin or whatever, and then price ends up not doing what you hoped it to do because you listen to these gurus.
Yeah, think about this, right? There's a lot of YouTubers who are saying that take loans against your Bitcoin and, use a 50% LTV. 50%. Well, guess what happened with Bitcoin?
Down 50%.
That's right. That means if you didn't move your position, you got liquidated.
Yeah, and I think that's literally what's happening right now. Because if you look at the chart, actually, like TradingView, the two fattest red candles I've seen, week-to-week candles, because I think that's what's happening systemically. Is a lot of people who bought into this like loan structuring
Yeah.
and this like false hopium of like, there's no way the LTV is going to crater that bad, guys. I think systemically, a lot of people, including like World Liberty Finance and other big players in the space, they're all
But
deleveraging.
here's the
at
interesting
once.
thing, though. Here's the interesting thing. Hold on. Let me find my tweet. So we're talking about 50% LTV, right?
Mhm.
This is 50% basically in the
What is
blue or
that?
green, right? In the blue or green of the rainbow chart.
Uh-huh.
So let me actually bring up the rainbow chart. So let me zoom in here. Let's say 125 people are leveraged at 50% LTV. That means you took a 60K loan, you did whatever, you bought a car, you bought more Bitcoin, whatever it was. Then it dropped 50% from the green,
Mhm.
right? Whenever it gets to the red, yeah, if you take 50% on that, you're going to get liquidated because it's not going to
Yeah.
stay in the red that long.
For sure, yeah.
But we're talking about 50% from the green,
Yeah.
right? If it can go into the green and lose 50%, like
That's what I
you
mean.
can't really make predictions.
Yeah. And that's what I mean. That's where these projections become dangerous because a lot of people they absorbed this information and applied it. And,
Yeah.
and it gave them a false sense of reality and a false projection.
Yeah.
And therefore they miscalculated and they over leveraged without even knowing it. Because they assumed it's like there's no way the top is here in the green.
That's right.
It's like I'm loading up.
Yeah, I'm
through
loading
this,
up so I can take advantage
Yeah.
of when we get into the orange
and
red.
red. Maybe even yellow I'm cool with, right?
Yeah.
That's a nice hot 2x, 3x.
Yeah,
whatever.
that's huge.
It is huge, depending on how much you're.
Yeah. If you take 50%, let's say you have one Bitcoin, $60,000 into Bitcoin, and then it goes up to 200 grand.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just made 120 grand right there.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I think is happening because I haven't seen like TJ said. What is it? It feels more accelerated than last time, like or just
Yeah.
faster paced.
Because of over leverage.
I think so.
So I'm not giving advice here, but the proper way to do this is use the bottom band, if anything. And then if you're going to take your lever against your Bitcoin, you better have enough to cover 90% losses.
Yeah, or just don't do that at all.
Which is basically,
just
think
stop.
about this. If you are protecting yourself from a 90% drawdown on Bitcoin at whatever the price is,
Mhm.
you're almost not taking
Yeah.
a loan out.
You're almost not doing anything.
Yeah, you're almost, yeah,
That's what I
exactly.
mean. So it's like, why sweat at all?
Yeah,
For like almost doing nothing. Just stop.
yeah.
Just stop. Don't
Get
give
some
up.
help.
Yeah.
Get some.
Yeah.
Okay, Jordan.
Basically, yeah. Get some help.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. So yeah, that's one way to avoid these cliff of emotions, right? It's like not giving a fuck, and not participating in these financial rusathons that are, they're what seems like gurus in the space. They're trying to sell you some new financial product that they benefit from.
And this includes the gurus who are right. There are gurus who predicted the price would go down. They're right, but someone was going to be right. Either the price goes up or the price goes down. Someone's always right.
Yeah, this is where I'm bringing gurus back because I was one of those who foresaw this coming collapse. Just go back to our 2026 prediction video.
Yeah,
I called it, but still don't believe me. I got lucky.
Yeah,
Benjamin Cohen, another one.
Yeah, that's right.
He took on the what is it? The 200-week moving average signal?
The male astrology.
Yeah, male astrology. Whatever. Yeah. So here's some star I just observed on the chart, and last time this star entered into our solar system or whatever.
That's right.
The apocalypse occurred.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. It's very Aztec Mayan philosophy approach at navigating reality.
Yeah, we've been through enough cycles, and every cycle has its guru. There was always the guy who was right, but he just happened to be right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he knew something.
Yeah, but still, again, whether who's right, wrong, whatever, it doesn't matter. What matters is the actual fallout consequence of all of this. So one of it is we got an industry in strife. Clearly, we got capitulation from some of the biggest players. They're exiting the space.
Yeah.
That and the result of that is complete confidence, rug in confidence for developers and builders and community participants across the board, right? So all of this is formulate for a great reset, right?
Yeah, I want to talk about the reset, but we have to.
Okay.
We have to talk about this chart.
Yeah, what is this? This is gold, right?
Bitcoin price in gold.
Terrifying.
Guess what this peak is over here, dude?
2021?
No.
2017.
2017.
Oh, that's right. I'm stupid.
So the price of Bitcoin in gold is as near the all-time high in 2017. So it's as if we've done nothing.
Wow.
For how many years? 9 years, dude.
Yeah, we've gone nowhere in context. So we should have been buying gold basically this whole time.
Yes.
That's what this chart is telling me.
Correct.
This whole podcast was a mistake.
Yeah.
Because literally on podcast episode 1, we were talking about gold or Bitcoin,
It's got to be Bitcoin, dude.
No, I was saying gold.
Yeah, you were.
Because again, yeah, I was waiting for this repricing moment. It just took a while. But Bitcoin and crypto had its time,
Yeah, I suppose. But you would think that when there's more money in circulation, the prices of assets are going up, but it doesn't look like it, dude. Yeah. At least as far as not Bitcoin goes.
Yeah. So yeah, another issue here is Bitcoin not matching up to the moment, right? It didn't meet its moment in time where it's another thing we've always talked about on this channel is eventually the moment's going to come where the Ponzi of reality is going to come and unravel itself.
Yeah, into Bitcoin.
Yeah, eventually Bitcoin's going to absorb all this because, capital's got to flee somewhere, right? And we're living in the modern digital age. It's digital Bitcoin. Digital gold is there. Of course it's going to absorb.
That's right.
And inverse capitulation. That's the real euphoria.
Yeah.
And it's going the opposite direction in its moment of time. But that's not to say,
Yeah, it's not over for Bitcoin, but still. You know what? It reminds me of James Harden in the playoffs, always choking. This is playoff time, dude. Yeah. It's time to show up.
Yeah.
And then he just disappears.
Yeah.
No one's going to understand that reference.
James Harden. The guy with the big fluffy beard.
Yeah, the bearded
NBA.
one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The guy you would look at and never assume he could ever do anything.
It's true.
Athletically, you just look at him no way this guy's dunking on fools. Well, he really doesn't, right? He's more of a shooter.
He's a shooter, yeah.
Yeah, he's more of a layup type.
I think he's in the top 10 scorers in the NBA.
Yeah.
I think.
Right.
But anyway,
okay, so we got bad charts. We got bad vibes. We got industry capitulation.
What you were saying is, okay, everything is ugly, but there needs to be a reset.
I think so. Well, yeah, I don't know if people are asking for this or not. I think, I don't know, what are people left to think, after experiencing this? What do you think people will say? It's because we've been through this. Whenever we're experiencing peak despair, people are angry and they've lost all faith and confidence in this industry, this space. The question always reverts back to, okay, what's gonna pull us out of this mess, right?
Yeah. So if I were to say, without what would pull us out of this mess? For a while, remember I was like talking about how crypto hasn't really produced anything, and where's the products in crypto? I feel like we actually need to apply this technology to something. And a lot of the times that works really well in crypto has been the injection of new primitives.
Right.
And that leads to the potential of new stuff. And so I think with what we're doing with NAT.FUN is that because we're combining the DMT aspect, digital matter theory, with NFTs who have been sidelined since 2021, and the ability for the creators who have also been sidelined since 2021 to actually continue producing in a way that it has market fit. So I think these are critical components that haven't been put together yet until now.
Yeah. So I think even more like fundamentally, it's like just the entire the structure of what is cryptocurrency. Obviously, there's the technical components of it that makes it
Functional.
Functional, and therefore it operates on these Web3 native rails and such. Like that is what we know of to be like crypto.
Yeah.
And all other kind of primitive wrappers of that, whether it's like a fungible token or a non-fungible token or whatever future primitives that come from this space, it's agent personality, or what is it called? Agent reputation protocols, stuff like that. These are new primitives. At the fundamental basis of it, what is the actual substance of crypto, right? It's really based on nothing. It's just like an arbitrary spin up of something.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think what is valuable here is a new business model, right? I think that's one of the major use cases of cryptocurrency, because that is one way cryptocurrency is actually needed in the context of artificial intelligence and agents, because they need a way to exchange commerce.
Yeah.
Right. And so you need them to have actual digital currency. So that is a good use case that cannot be had in Web 2.
Right.
Right. Another use case is funding creators through volume. Right. That is something that can't be done in Web 2 space. So let's say if you wanted to support a creator through Patreon, you support them, let's say $10 a month. That is $10 that are gone. What if you could support them by buying $10 worth of tokens and participate on the growth and success of that creator? Why not?
Right.
I feel like that is a good application of Web3 for a new business model.
Yeah. So that addresses the cold start issue of rebirthing a once thriving industry, specifically NFTs.
Yeah.
That have already experienced its own native capitulation moment, and it's waiting for, again, reverting back to this question during these times. It's always how do we bring it back? Now the broader crypto space in itself is experiencing the capitulation. So the question will be at some point, as it always does, revert to how do we bring ourselves back out of this new trench of despair, right?
Yeah.
Our interpretation has always been through this new lens of how do we perceive crypto, its fundamental nature, right? It's leveraging the principles of Bitcoin through digital matter theory, which we think injects or imbues all crypto across the spectrum with some semblance of substance to it that didn't exist prior to when you issue new digital assets just based off of the contingencies of some human operator.
Yeah.
Right. It's bound by nothing. There's no actual truth-bearing security to that. Right. And the one thing that Bitcoin has for sure certainly produced is an actual executable truth layer.
Yeah.
Right. Which is not it's continually reinforced over time, of course, by its security, which is fully dependent on its
price.
Its price. Right. But nonetheless, it's as of right now, it's unfalterable. It's immutable. These are things that we could root to.
Yeah.
And now reissue this crypto substance stuff that we've formed an industry around, using this new process. So that is kind of the underlying premise to basically everything we're going to be working on and discussing
Yeah.
moving forward.
It's
right?
it's using Bitcoin in a different way, right? You're still using Bitcoin, but it's not like on-chain transactions and all that stuff. You're using the blockchain data of it to produce the
Yeah.
substance.
So, okay, so that sounds cool, but why? Why would we want to do that?
Yeah, so we've had an entire history, 2017 or 17 years of crypto history, all being done arbitrarily, which is totally fine. I think it's okay to do things arbitrarily. But the issue, the consequence of doing things arbitrarily in the context of cryptocurrency is that you set a supply of a token, and then who's to say that you can't expand the supply,
Mhm.
right? We've seen 10K NFT projects expand their supply. It really hurts the community.
Yeah.
And there is no other business model for a creator to continue its creation process without selling and expanding the supply. And so that happens arbitrarily, and that happens because the creator made some mistakes, lost some money gambling. All of a sudden needs money, right? So it's like,
Yeah.
let's do a new collection, hurts the community, and then the project inevitably dies as a result.
Yeah. Confidence erodes, right? And
Yeah.
we're left again back in that trench of despair.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
been 5 years already, and there's very little NFT activity. The only thing that brought NFTs back to a certain degree were ordinals, and even then, once we found ordinals, we said that this was not enough.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
because it's cool, it's novel, it's interesting. Before ordinals, I'd never even thought like we should migrate to
Yeah, to Bitcoin, anything.
yeah, because to me the space was only interesting because of the non-Bitcoin native things happening, mostly on Ethereum. It's like, developers iterating and pushing new ideas forward and
Yeah,
building new protocols, new primitives, DeFi, NFTs, metaverse stuff. All that was very interesting. New economic models and such. It's like, then all of a sudden somebody rolled out some new primitive on Bitcoin that allows some iteration of that to happen natively on L1 to Bitcoin. It was cool.
It's very cool.
Very cool. It
It's
had a
just-
lot of potential, but it's like
It's not enough.
once you saw everything kind of roll out, it's like, oh, these are just JPEGs all over again.
Yeah,
We did that.
yeah,
There's shit coins, BRC20s, whatever.
yeah. We've seen
Runes.
that.
They're out. They're everywhere. They're on every
Yeah.
chain. So it's like really nothing new, no real substance here, until the non-arbitrary stuff started entering the equation, right?
That's right.
Bitmap,
Mm-hmm.
the NAT, the UNATs, all
Mhm.
this stuff that again is rooting to this fundamental primitive that is accessible, but as of right now not widely distributed.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, so this is the underlying premise of why NAT.FUN is a big deal and why it matters, because I think Bitcoin is in big trouble, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just swimming along in these crypto waters, not realizing how much of a big deal that is.
Yeah, going back to the whole guru conversations, like people who believe in Bitcoin from a faith standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
they're listening to gurus.
Mhm.
And we were just talking about how you're not supposed to listen to gurus. Bitcoin actually has a problem.
Yeah.
Fundamentally design a problem. And it is because we're not using Bitcoin how it was designed. It's not peer-to-peer cash.
Right.
And I think that's an okay thing to do is not use Bitcoin. I think it's fine because it has some higher calling, let's say digital gold. So in that realm, you're not supposed to use the Bitcoin network, right? You're supposed to buy and hold it.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, then how are you going to sustain Bitcoin, right? So therefore, it has a problem, but that's not to say that you can't leverage the network itself in a different way that actually provides value to the network itself.
Yeah.
So I guess I was going to say it, but I probably shouldn't say it yet. But there's going to be a fundamental connection between the activity that happens on the platform and supporting Bitcoin.
Yes.
I'm sure
For
you guys
sure.
can make the connection there.
That's pretty obvious. It's in the name.
It's in the name.
Which we've been getting flack from.
Yeah.
Shizzy.
Yeah, Shizzy.
Yeah.
That apparently is the worst name ever of all names ever created ever.
That's the greatest sign I think we've heard.
Yeah. That was my response. Like, dude, there couldn't have been a more bullish indicator on earth than Shizzy hating on our name.
Yeah.
That's almost, we're guaranteed to the moon now, right?
That's right.
If he doesn't like it. But yeah, if you understand the underlying premise of everything you just kind of explained, which obviously most people do not yet, because we haven't really been discussing a lot of this stuff openly,
Yeah.
and we promised we would. at some point.
Monday
But-
at 3 p.m. Central Time.
Yeah.
If you're a creator.
Yeah, if you're a creator, you're interested in the idea of reinvigorating NFT production once again through whatever molding you think is important, whether
Yeah.
it's art.
Yeah. Do you want to do NFT agents? Hit us up.
We're down. We're so down.
Super down.
Hell yeah. There's so many different derivatives of like NFT production that are just being completely neglected. And like we went a whole cycle basically with like NFTs not factored into anything.
Yeah, nobody's using NFTs. That's crazy.
It seems crazy to us. It almost seems like predestined, like for us to be like the usherers of a new NFT model, because it makes no sense to me like that we nobody's really attempted to.
I mean, it kind of makes sense in the sense that we introduce a new primitive, so it's up to us to actually make it make sense.
Yeah, I guess maybe that is like the prerequisite requirement to, pushing anything out there that can actually make NFTs interesting again. It's like it has to come with some new primitive.
Yeah, it has to.
And that's not easy. We just happened to discover this primitive from Bitcoin itself because of our native interest in the ordinals, breakthrough. We spent a lot of time thinking about Bitcoin and dabbling and dibbling within it.
Yeah.
And we just happened to stumble onto this substrate that has a tremendous value proposition to Bitcoin itself beyond what is today perceived it to be. So again, why is that important? Because if Bitcoin fails, the whole crypto industry fails.
It's done.
Everything is rooted and dependent and reliant on Bitcoin succeeding. Everything.
Yep.
Everything you love about crypto, whether it's AI agents, whether it's NFTs, whatever corner of crypto universe that you identify with, if Bitcoin fails, all that's getting wiped clean.
Yeah, that means that if Bitcoin fails, that doesn't mean Bitcoin Satoshi vision is going to explode and Bitcoin Cash is going to absorb all of Bitcoin's value. Right. No, all of it fails, the whole thing.
And that's something we believe to the core, right? And why we think it needs to be understood across the entire landscape of crypto. It's like, okay, we all actually need to collectively reset and get our bearings straight. It's like, well, what's important about this industry, this space? It's like, well, Bitcoin's in trouble. We all need to collectively align and build new primitives and initiatives to kind of reinvigorate the value of Bitcoin under this new lens, this new perception of reality, which is DMT.
Yes.
The non-arbitrary nature of it that can be applied to basically any chain. And now we've reinvented how we actually manifest things digitally. And like you're saying, let's relay some of this value we produce back to Bitcoin itself.
Yeah, it only makes sense. If you're going to be using the Bitcoin blockchain for an application, then it makes sense to return value to the Bitcoin blockchain.
Right. Yeah, it's just we've created silos that compete with one another this whole time. And that is the result and the consequence of just like, VCs discovering their levers of interest within our industry. And now that that money is run dry, you're seeing a mass exodus. Yeah. You're seeing like Multicoin kind of like run down its interest in this industry. It's like, oh shit, we can't just spin up chains anymore and just extract millions of dollars from that.
Yeah.
Well, then I'm out. Off to AI.
Yeah. Time to extract in the AI space.
Sure. There's tons of liquidity flowing through there, right? So it's like the industry's at a break point.
Yeah.
And when that happens, something has to literally change everything. And we're saying this application, this protocol, this whole methodology is a legitimate candidate for a real reset to crypto.
I totally agree. And I mentioned on Monday at 3 p.m. Central Time for a specific reason. So we want to invite every single creator, if you're in the ordinal space or Solana or any NFT space, and you want to join us for the call, we're going to be showing the entire platform to the creators. Mm-hmm. We're going to be showing exactly how it works, how to prepare for it. And the good news is that if you've done an NFT project before, it's no different than what you've already done. But what happens is different. Like how you launch it, what you expect, the work, the effort to launch a token is different. It is not a pre-hype campaign.
True.
And you're not setting prices, and you're not going to like hire a bunch of KOLs and send them some NFTs to pre-hype something. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And so on Monday at 3 p.m. Central, we're going to be showing the whole platform, getting creators prepared. And I wanted to show, TJ, if you allow me to show this, I'm going to pull up a creator playbook here. And let me hide that. There we go. So this is the creator playbook, right?
Collector
playbook. Sorry.
Yeah, we got two.
Yeah, there's a creator playbook. So if you're a creator, you want to read that. If you're a collector, you want to read this. So the reason why we're going to go over the collector playbook is because it's significantly shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it encapsulates, I guess, like, what is the value and purpose of this platform, really? The creator is more like, yeah, how do you actually align with, you know, the market mechanisms of basically ICM launch pads,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's a different, like you're saying, expectation of how to be a creator and successfully sustain relevancy and attention, because your monetization capacity is relying on that, right?
Yeah.
Like previously, it's like, yeah, generate a bunch of hype, launch your collection, rake in a bunch of bucks, and then in most cases, these creators just, I'm out of here.
They disappear. Yeah.
It's like because the market is structured that way.
That's right.
The incentives breed that type of feedback.
And we saw that systemically. That's why everything's down 99.99%.
Correct. Yeah. So new rules exist. New market mechanics can be utilized to prevent that from happening. Right?
Yeah. So we've been writing this for a number of months now. And it's funny that we're in a point where we're talking about reset. And I pulled this up for you this morning, and like this was already there, and it's been sitting there for months.
Yeah.
Because we've considered NAT.FUN as a reset before it was actually kind of required.
Yeah.
And sort of
true. The market,
imposed
the moment in time at the time of writing this didn't really match.
No, it didn't. It was like euphoria. I mean, people were happy about 125, I guess.
Yeah.
Michael Saylor was a genius, you know, things like that.
Correct. Yeah, but even still, with all that, it's still like non-arbitrary production. Is just more interesting.
Yeah,
it feels like a more long-standing,
sure,
again, digital manifestation process than just arbitrarily spinning things up out of thin air.
It's a reset of rethinking of, you know, how you think about cryptocurrency.
Yeah,
it is a reset.
Yeah.
So the old launchpad meta already played out. Here's why the next wave looks different. So I won't go through this whole thing, but it talks about NAT.FUN is crypto's what's next movement. So we were talking about, it's like, what is going to pull us out from this like despair? Mm-hmm. And so I don't know, we sort of like predicted this was like an inevitable outcome.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's because we're paying attention, right? It's like, just like when we were paying attention to ordinals, it's like, no way we're just going to keep issuing shitcoins and JPEGs, and then like ordinals are just going to explode, right? Like something new needs to come in, some new molding, if you will, which typically are called primitives. The image here on the left reflects that too. It's like, we're not going to bring things back by just issuing new meme coin launchpads over and over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You could spin up a different brand to them, or say like, hey, this one's focused on developers, this one's focused on whatever's, like, you know, streamers.
Yeah.
Still, it's like the same primitive, the same products over and over and over again. It's a spiral to nothing.
Exactly.
So it's like, then
we got to introduce a new primitive. That's the whole point of this. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What's in the block? Surprise. This is NAT.FUN. You're going to be claiming blocks.
Yeah. And if you've already onboarded, you already claimed the block.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So go to NAT.FUN right now and claim a block. All you got to do is connect your Solana wallet and then connect your Twitter account, and it's claimed.
Yeah. So those of you who've been following us for a while, it's not bitmap again.
Yeah.
Some people said that. He said that?
Yeah, he said it on one
of
our YouTube
So you guys are doing bitmap again. No. God damn it, dude. This fucking guy. We're not doing bitmap again. It's just a way to associate the platform user's identity to a block, right? Why? It's setting the tone for what's like going to happen moving forward once the platform's actually live.
Yes.
Because that is like the activity that all creators in this ecosystem are going to be engaged with, right? It's
actually, we could just go over this, dude.
Okay, what is this?
It's like, welcome to NAT.FUN, a new class of tokens born from Bitcoin.
Ooh, let's do that.
One launch, dual markets, buy coin, graduate, receive NFTs. says built on Bitcoin's living data. Every asset is anchored in real Bitcoin patterns, immutable, verifiable, and eternal. This is what's happening. We're taking Bitcoin blocks and we're forming digital assets.
Right. And but we've done that before, right? On
Yeah.
Mscribe and
Yeah, but this is at a different scale.
Yeah, and this is what we think is, again, this is aligned with the mature market structurings that exist today. It's the reason why meme coins are so functionally productive, right? It's because they're built on top of viable market rails.
Yeah.
NFTs, as of they're currently being distributed and produced, these are like legacy market models, right? OpenSea, Magic Eden. There's a reason why every major NFT marketplace is basically shutting their doors.
All of them.
Nifty Gateway, the most recent one.
Yeah. There was an article that you shared that you found had like 10 different platforms completely disappear.
Yeah, basically all of them.
The only one that's left is OpenSea, and they're
slinging meme coins.
Yeah.
They're not even really like an NFT like hub anymore. Like they completely pivoted their ideologies away from it. So this is a space that's completely open. Nobody has a solution to the market structure problem. Nobody has a solution to actually introducing something novel and interesting for creators to begin reiterating and re-experimenting with, right?
Yeah.
Nobody. There isn't a single thing. NAT.FUN is singular in this approach, right? So that's why we think it's a significant opportunity, right? I mean, we've been covering crypto for damn near a decade now. Every time anything has ever like produced anything of new value, it's because of that recipe.
Yep.
You've introduced somebody.
It never fails.
Yeah, it's been some team, somebody in the space.
Usually from a garage.
Yeah. In this case, like
it's a fancy studio.
It doesn't feel that fancy anymore. It's about time for like a
reset.
What do you call that? A makeover? Yeah.
Oh no.
Or not. We're humble. We're humble here.
No.
You know?
No makeover.
Yeah. You definitely don't like change, do you? But yeah.
This is fundamentally what's going to be happening, and it's going to be a different experience, but it's going to be one that fits the market today, and it's fundamentally new. So, again, I want you guys to join us on Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Join the Mscribe Discord. The links will be in the description. Just look for Mscribe. There'll be the link there. And if you are not a creator, meaning you don't have a role as a creator in our Discord, DM us in the NAT.FUN channel, or DM me, and then I'll give you the creator role, and then you can join and you see the platform here.
Yeah, so that's basically it. So, yeah, if you're interested, join that call. I mean, we're going to be talking a lot more about DMT, what are non-arbitrary tokens, why the hell are we doing this, like moving forward, right? Because
we didn't. So it was like NAT. Well, what does a NAT mean? For all the people who don't know what NAT stands for, it means non-arbitrary tokens.
Right. Yeah.
That's it.
Which basically means it's crypto built out of actual substance. And the substance provider is Bitcoin itself.
Yeah.
Because out of the slew of what's been done so far in crypto, it's like Bitcoin by far is like an actual human achievement.
It
of
is.
Like massive proportions.
It is.
But it's not perfect, and it is teetering. It's showing its weak spots.
That's right.
Right. And people are going to become aware of that, and then they're going to equate that to a failing industry and like something that has no hope, right? If Bitcoin doesn't work, then nothing should work.
Yeah.
So it's like, then we all need to, again, realign ourselves in an effort to reestablish those foundations to what makes Bitcoin valuable after all. Because we do need the price to continue to go up.
It has to.
Because the industry is dependent on it. The security of Bitcoin is dependent on it. And like this whole substrate that we can now utilize is also dependent on that security.
That's right.
So it's all connected. It is complex, and it's to understand it all. So that's kind of like our chore, right? It's to continually
repeat ourselves.
Basically, be broken records.
Yeah, so if you guys agree, definitely join us on Discord, Monday, 3 p.m. Central. And if you guys have any questions as to what is going on, all the questions will be answered on Monday. And if those are still not answered, hit us in the DMs. We'll answer them there. All right, guys, that's it for us. Appreciate you for watching the podcast, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Peace.